Wednesday, July 1st. Today the rally will cross the Lake of Zurich and head northeast to St. Gallen, 102 kilometers, over 60 miles. Clouds have come in overnight, and for a few hours, it looks like the sunshine is gone. But gradually, the sky begins to clear as tired Tour de Solers make their cars ready for one of the longest laps of the rally. Today's highlight is the crossing of the Lake of Zurich by ferry. At the ferry harbor in the Zurich suburb of Horgen, a huge crowd masses to see the solar adventurers on their way. Loading the delicate solar vehicles is time-consuming. But at last, the ferry is underway, bound for the town of Milan on the opposite shore of the lake. The actual measurement of start time will only take place when the cars begin to run on solid land after the ferry has docked. It's perhaps the most exciting landing this ferry has ever made, with helicopters hanging overhead, reporters, photographers, and television crews everywhere, and hundreds of people thronging the lakeshore. First off the ferry are the leaders. Axel Krause in his Solaris now has solid command of first place. Biel Engineering School's Paul Ballmer, last year's champion, is now running second. Krause's Solaris teammate Stefan Brecker is close behind. Willi Stöckli comes next with his Panasonic car, still a leading contender. The two leaders in Category 3 are Team Zumikon and Rolf Disch. In Category 2, Germany's Oskar von Miller-Schüle is beginning to threaten the lead hitherto held by Kuhn Weiser-Gnomon. It will take several more ferry trips before all 88 remaining cars are transported across the lake. 74 cars are still racing. The rest have been disqualified. Many will fall by the wayside on today's long leg, for the cars will have to climb a total of 739 meters, or more than 2,200 feet. As a sideshow to today's events, one team has decided to demonstrate a world's first, an amphibious solarmobile. Unfortunately, driver Theodor Schmidt has a breakdown while at sea, and with the assistance of the local constabulary, has to make provisional repairs. It takes some time before our swimming solarmobile is underway again. Meanwhile, the reporters on the other side are getting impatient and ask the policeman to find out what's become of the waterborne sun car. The policeman tells us he called the lake police and they answered, and that it's now a third of the way across the lake. And at last, there's our lonely mariner, who arrives to a big round of applause from the assembled multitude. The weather has been unsettled all day, and now it's getting downright forbidding. With heat as intense as yesterday, generally thunderstorms brew in the mountains, and sure enough, in the middle of the afternoon, a king-size storm hits the Tour de Sol. This is serious business when your rally depends on sunshine. Fortunately, most of the rally is safely into St. Gallen before the storm hits. Only a few stragglers are still on the road. In the rain, St. Gallen has turned into the saddest base station of the Sunshine Rally. Heavy rain and catastrophic thunderstorms would be the story of most of Europe's summer. It's nothing to laugh about. A few weeks later, such a storm would bring tragedy to campers in the French Alps, just a few hours' drive west of here. Fortunately, a near tragedy on the Tour de Sol was narrowly avoided today. We find Team Rallos driver Hans-Rudi Burch in a nearby parking garage. At first it went very well today, he told us. We were using a special tactic and had been making very good time until I reached a closed railway crossing with a lineup of cars behind it. I was hot into racing and passed the lineup, which included a bus and a great big truck. According to the law, they have to give at least 50 meters clearance at a closed railway barrier. I turned in at the head of the column and must have waited a couple of minutes before the barrier opened. There was plenty of time for the truck driver to have noticed me. Anyway, when we got moving again, the truck rear-ended us, and a huge tire rolled right over my panel. The truck's bumper came a few inches from my head. It was a pretty big surprise. Now my mechanics are working hard to repair the damage. We're mounting the last solar panels we could get our hands on. We're optimistic we'll make it. For sure, we want to see the finish line at Arosa. The Biel engineers also had problems, according to Kurt Vogel.
Today we had a bit of a hard day, you know, because after about 2/3 of the way we had a puncture on the rear wheel, which took us about 6 minutes to change the tire. Afterwards we carried on, and about 5 kilometers before the finishing line, the engine didn't work anymore, so we thought it was a fault or something in the electronics went wrong. So we changed the whole electronic, and still the motor didn't go. We changed the whole unit. That means the tire, the gear wheels, the engine, the whole unit, and that took us about 25 minutes. altogether about half an hour.
Thursday, July 2nd. Today the rally crosses the border into Austria. Destination, Runkweil. At the border crossing, Tour de Sol is getting its accustomed group of spectators and media attention. The border guards have agreed not to slow down the tour to check passports, but solar cars have to wait in line at the border, just like any other traffic. Axel Krause took first place again yesterday. Today, he'll fall slightly behind. His teammate, Stefan Breker, arrived at St. Gallen second, putting Solaris in control of the race. The media attention given to the Solaris drivers is now being taken in stride. Both are aware that anything can happen in the remaining 3 days. Still, it now seems only a major disaster will put Solaris out of the winner's circle. Behind Helios, second place last year, comes Rolf Disch, who is placing consistently first in Category 3B. Team Zumikon is dominating Category 3A. While other teams are already racing across the border, Panasonic is still at St. Gallen. A major component has failed in their super light drivetrain, forcing street-side repairs, which always draw a crowd of sidewalk supervisors. No sooner is driver Willi Stöckli back on the road when yet another problem crops up. This time it's no worse than a flat tire, but the winner's podium seems very far away now. All this has happened before the official time measurement, and rally officials agree to let Panasonic proceed without any time penalized. This is to prove a very unpopular decision, and will come back to haunt both the Panasonic team and the leaders of the rally.